The first thing we're going to do is dice one tomato. You see two, but I only used one. And you can also use diced tomatoes from a can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Fresh always tastes better. Once you're done dicing the tomato, you should have about a half of a cup. Next, we're going to cut some fresh parsley. You can use as little or as much as you want. I'm using about a fourth of a cup once it's cut. When you're cutting the parsley, you only want the leaves. You see these little stems on there? You want to remove those stems. You only want the leaves. So now we have our diced tomato, parsley, and an eighth of a cup of garlic, which I did not cut on camera. And I also used a food processor. Now we have our shrimp. This is 1 pound of raw deveined shrimp with the shell on. And once you peel those shells off, do not throw them in the trash because you're going to need them to make your shrimp stock. And try to get some large shrimp. We don't want small shrimp in our pasta. We want to be able to see it, and most importantly, we want to be able to taste it. And as I said before, hold on to those shells because we're going to need it right now to make the shrimp stock. To make the shrimp stock, you just want to add those shells to a pan or skillet or whatever, and you're going to saute it using 1 tablespoon of butter. And no, I'm not just randomly cutting the butter. The package is marked, so that is a tablespoon. You want to saute it for about 4 to 5 minutes or until it's cooked. You'll know that it's cooked because it's going to turn pink. Then you're going to add 1.5 cups of water and bring that to a soft boil. Then you're going to turn the heat down to low and let it simmer for about 25 minutes. After about 25 minutes, you're going to strain it and you're going to reserve the liquid, which is your shrimp stock, for later. And then you can discard the shells. Now it's time to cook the shrimp. We're going to season it with salt and pepper only. Then you're going to add 1/8 of a cup of olive oil to a pan, and you're going to saute the shrimp until it becomes pink. It's going to be like maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Once it turns pink or peachy in color, it's done. I realize I've made no mention of the pasta, so while you're doing this, make sure you boil your water for the pasta because you're going to need that. You don't want to be done with everything and then have forgotten to boil your water for your pasta, so make sure you're doing that, and that's what that is in the top right hand corner. And once the shrimp is done, you want to remove it with a slotted spoon, and you want to leave that oil in a pan and add 1 tablespoon of butter to it. Then you're going to add that 1/8 of a cup of garlic, and you're going to saute that for a little bit, not long at all. We don't want to brown the garlic. And then you're going to add your 1/2 cup of diced tomatoes and saute that for a little bit. And then it's time to add your shrimp stock. You want to bring this to a boil, and at the same time you want to kind of scrape the bottom of the pan because you don't want stuff to get stuck to the bottom. You just want to release that. Then we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of whipping cream or heavy cream. And you're going to let this cook until the amount is reduced a little bit. You'll know because it's going to look like it's not as much as when you first started. And that's when you want to add the shrimp. And And now it's time to season everything up. We're gonna add some lemon juice. This is the juice from 1/2 of a lemon. And make sure you don't add those seeds. You don't want to get those seeds in there. Also, we're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper. We're going to add that to start. I always like to start small and add on later. Then you're going to add that parsley. And the last 2 seasonings will be salt and pepper, but I like to add that once I've added the pasta. Here we are adding the angel hair pasta. And you can cook the pasta according to the instructions on the box. And once you add that pasta in, mix it all in. I don't like to add all of it at one time. I like to add half and then keep adding on because I don't want to have too much pasta and not enough sauce. And then you're going to add salt to suit your taste. And make sure you go back to taste it. That's one of the most important steps in making a meal. You want to taste your food because you may need more of something. And now we're going to add some more crushed red pepper to make it just a little more spicier. And also some black pepper, and mix it all in. And you have yourself some great spicy shrimp and garlic pasta. I hope you guys try it and enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching.